What up, boys? What up, boys? Run up the likes on the stream real quick before we get started. While I'm setting up. What's popping, though, boys? Shout out to Andrew. I know, I see Meat Rocket don't got that membership no more. His name looking a little naked. Boys, we in here? We in here, Space Kid. We in here. We just setting up. Drop some thoughts in the chat, though. Let me see what you guys got to say. Kind of look like swole Keanu Reeves. Shout out Tuxedo. Thank you, homie, for the $2 dono. I'll take Keanu Reeves. All right. I be rocking these new pants. I'm gonna just start the stream off crazy. I be rocking these new pants right now, and I'm trying to manage this. I got a straight cock bulge on these pants. We got to fix something with these pants. I can't be going out in public with my bulge that crazy. Good thing we're just in that fucking house right now. Oh gosh. Rocking the new pants for the first time and I'm already noticing a bulge. We'll get that squared away soon enough. Anyway, boys, shout out to everybody returning. What's poppin'? I mean, we got a little bit of good news today. Shout out to Ariel. I always hate the fact that I hate on him so much, but it's like this dude is two complete opposites. Great journalist, very good interviewer, I'll even say great, all right? I mean, he does get like how do I say it? It's like, do I think I could do just as good, if not better, of a D-Rod interview? Of course, right? He gets a lot of the exclusive good stories, so maybe it makes him seem a bit better of an interviewer. I be turning lemons into lemonade, so to speak. Taking the real bottom scraps and making it good. So I do think, personally, Ariel's not like, a better interviewer than me, but I would say, he's a great interviewer. And I guess we all got to be a little bit delusionally confident. So, of course, I'm going to think I'm better than Ariel when it comes to interviewing, but I'm not delusional. I do know Ariel's a better journalist than me. There's no debate about that. He has more connections though. Anyway, we're getting into the weeds. The main thing is that I always feel bad because, I hate on Ariel for when he speaks about how he thinks MMA should go, right? How he thinks combat sports should be run. That is like the most disgusting rhetoric I ever listened to ever. When he speaks about women's MMA and, how it's a breath of fresh air to what we've been getting, it's like, bro, you tripping. But so I always feel bad, I'm just going back and forth on this thought right now, but I always feel bad about that because days like today where homie fucking gets all the exclusive good interviews, D-Rod, Olberg, after the win, after the excuses from Yuri. It's like these were great interviews. I loved them. I got to credit the man. And he probably like, oh, this motherfucker, always hating how he using my shit. But it's like, Ariel, you do it to me, Ariel. You do it to me. I wish I didn't have to hate on you. But I mean, you call for it when you give crazy takes about women's MMA and, when you use your platform to big up Sean Brady, but down Joaquin, it's like, we got to be enemies at times. But, one thing can't be mistaken. I respect the work at the end of the day. I respect the work. So I say all that to say, we got the Carlos Olberg stories. A few things with this is, oh yeah, Perfecto says, bro, ain't no way D-Rod was locked up for weed. Dude lying. I mean, Perfecto, I did see that earlier, but it's like, what the okay, Perfecto, then tell me. Like, Perfecto, you can say he's lying, right? But you just want to say what you really think out loud? By the time, give it another few months. I'm gonna make all you boys fucking say the quiet parts out loud. Like, we not doing this, Perfecto. We not doing this right now. You got a thought, spit it out, homie. That ain't the thought. No way D-Rod was locked up for weed, dude lying. Okay, then what was it? Let's hear the speculation. I want to hear it. Shout out Dundaughter. Shout out MGal. Oh, MGal says, I was at the show this past week in UFC 327. Hogan stole the show. Carlos said Yuri is fake. Yeah, man, we're about to get into it, but shout out to MGal. What's poppin', Mike Co? Yeah, everybody hit the like button. Run up likes on the stream. We live kind of early today, 8:42 p.m. We usually be going live late. But I'm trying to, make sure everybody gets to tune in from the Pacific Coast to the East Coast, from fucking America to New Zealand, because I think that's quite a bit of my demographic. But back to the Ariel Helwani stuff. So the stuff we're going to be getting into is just like Carlos Olberg responding to Yuri. And I told you guys everything I said last night and the day before is what Carlos finally came to, realization with over the last couple days since the fight happened on Saturday. After the win initially, Olberg not too down or like critical of Yuri yet. Not saying very much. They did ask him, Yuri saying he showed you mercy. What's your thoughts? It was a very civil answer, right? I was already jumping down Yuri's throat. No diddy. As soon as he said it, as soon as he took that golden excuse from Joe Rogan, I was jumping down Yuri's throat like everybody should, man. I mean, that shit's goofy as fuck. And it's even goofier to get behind Yuri on account that he's like autistic. It's even goofier. Like, I don't know. It's just the whole thing's kind of goofy. Even like the whole like I don't know. I'd love to get everybody else's thoughts on this because for me, I love humor. I love satire, but there's some type of like okay, for lack of a better word, all right? I'm not talking really gay. Okay, I'm not talking really gay, but can I just use the word gay and say there's some gay ass humor going on with this like oh, Carlos Olberg as soon as he dropped Yuri, he grabbed the cage like hold on, what the fuck? Tuxedo, chill out, bro. You're messing up my points here. Chill the fuck out, Tux. You can't drop something like that in the chat while I'm fucking talking. Oh my god. Homie just tells me stream is dead. I'm about to have a fucking heart attack. Okay, let me regather my thought. Gosh dang it, Tux. Hang on. Let me figure out what the hell I was saying, bro. Oh, the whole Carlos Olberg thing. There's this little gay ass cope going on right now where it's like, let's all say that Carlos Olberg cheated because when he dropped Jiri Prochazka, he grabbed the cage to stabilize himself because his knee was fucked. He would have probably fell, but he grabbed the cage to stabilize himself. Then he went down, followed Yuri to the ground. And then he ground and pounded him, finished him moments later. That's fine. Like, I mean, it's honestly not funny. Like, it's honestly not funny. Like, I didn't get the humor in that at all. I mean, obviously I understand it. It's like a troll, but it's like, bro, that's your idea of like funniness. Like, in my opinion, you guys are still subconsciously, backhandedly downing Olberg's win, bro. Why the fuck are we saying Olberg shouldn't be the champion? He cheated. He grabbed the cage. Like, even if it's a joke, it's like, it's a joke in favor of Yuri, Mr. Autistic. And I told you guys already that like there's some weird thing going on in the Big 26 where, people only want to watch like autistic content creators and I think also like reality content creators. I think the whole like I think that's why people like autism as well when it comes to the content creation because it's authentic, right? Just like reality is kind of authentic. But the thing that I think a lot of people are pushing away from is that type of like big production machine type of shit. I don't think people like that as much these days. Hence, a big uptick in the autistic content consumption because people just want to see real shit. Like, something where they're not trying to be something they're not. And obviously you do get that with autistic people. But, Carlos, he makes a good point, bro. And he's saying a lot of the same things I'm saying. Like in this interview with Ariel, I don't know how much of it we'll watch. So let me just get a lot off my chest. Like in this interview, he speaks about how, Yuri, he kind of a faker, he's talking all this shit saying he's a bigger man, a better man than Carlos. And then on the night, he doesn't show it. And Carlos came in on that type of timing, especially because Yuri was calling him out about that. Rewatch this interview on your own time and tell me you don't gather that. Tell me you didn't, catch that from the interview. Carlos doesn't exactly say that, but it's like, I'm telling you, there's something to Carlos's irritation with Yuri, and it's the fact that Yuri postures to be such a big man. That's Carlos's issue with Yuri, I think. And I read it on the night, but I'm gonna stick to it. He kind of is annoyed with Yuri, posturing like he's more of a man than he really is. And so that's why he keeps going back to this when they say like, Yuri showed you mercy, blah, blah, blah. In a way, he's being like, bro, I thought you were the real man. I thought you were a real man. You were downing me for not being a real man. I had to uptick my game a little bit because you're making me question myself. Turns out you're just a fake and a phony. I mean, you can see the quote right here. Bullshit to the mercy claim. There wasn't any kind of mercy. I think he's a pretender. That's not a real fighter in there. And that's partially why I think, what I just said. There was another thing I wanted to get off my chest. Let's see if I can remember it. Um, mm, I might not remember it. But shit, drop some thoughts in the chat. Like, what you guys think of Carlos Olberg? I'd like to read them out now. But I'm trying to think of what else I had to say about this. Oh, here's what it is. Here's what it is. I think even Yuri is fucking confused with his own damn self. That's what I really think. I think Yuri's confused with his own damn self. All this stuff about and honestly, comment this one in the chat. What you guys think of this? Because this me, putting my thoughts, my balls on the table, so to speak, right? So let me give it to you. Can you please forgive me? I'm hyperventilating. Yeah, Tux, it ain't no sweat, homie. It ain't no sweat. You did make me trip out though. I could usually like handle like any comments. That's the first time that's ever happened. But when someone says stream is dead, it's like, you're gonna make me have a panic attack. It's like, how the fuck, what the fuck, you just sit there and watch it, Tux. What the fuck you patrolling the numbers for? Just chill out. Chill out, homie. Let me worry about that stuff. I got it on my end. I'll know if it's dead or not. But okay, so here's my big thought. Yuri's confused himself, bro. He don't even know what happened his damn self. And here's what I think happened. Here's what I think Yuri means, because this whole thing about I showed him mercy, rewinding the tape. Oh, he kicked the legs. Oh, he backed up and he kind of like smirked his face as a sign of mercy, right? We all saw it, right? Where he like flattened out his lips and he's like, come on, and just kind of does that little thing. That looked like the merciful moment. But at the same time, how about when he's like trolling Carlos, throwing his hands on the ground, pointing at the leg, backing up, kicking it? That's not really working in his favor as far as the mercy claims. So here's what I think happened. After rewatching some of the clips, here's really what I think happened. I think that Yuri, he wanted Carlos to call the fight himself on some stupid ass honorary shit. Like a dumbass. Again, Yuri just kind of dumb, bro. Just kind of dumb. This is what I really truly believe now. Yuri didn't really show Carlos mercy. Yuri's calling him mercy, but the truth is that Yuri wanted Carlos to call the fight himself. Yuri saw that Carlos was compromised. He kept kicking him. He didn't want to continue kicking him, so to speak. I can't really say, for damn sure that he didn't want to keep kicking him. I'm just trying to give a little bit of credit to what he says. Validate a little bit of what Yuri's saying to meet him in the middle. And I think ultimately, right, when he stopped wanting to kick Olberg and he started backing off, I think he was trying to signal to Olberg, like, call the fight. Call the fight. I don't want to keep hurting you. You call the fight. And that's some stupid ass shit, bro. But that's truly what I believe. I cannot fathom or accept the idea that in a fucking world title fight, Jiri Prochazka's fourth at that, all right, his fourth fucking title fight, his third attempt after losing the belt. I refuse to believe, I cannot believe that this dude just up and showed mercy and got him. What the fuck does showing mercy even mean? Can someone tell me? When was he not going to show mercy? This guy, I showed him mercy. What, you were going to try to knock him out by punching him in the head and not kicking his leg? Like, what exactly is this mercy excuse? This dude on his third attempt trying to get the damn belt. On his third attempt trying to get the damn belt, he backs off because he doesn't want to hurt Olberg. No, I think he backed off because he wanted Olberg to call the damn fight. But I mean, he retarded if that's the case. Absolutely retarded. But I believe that over, he's hurt. I feel bad for him. Let's stop it. Because like I said yesterday, hurt, subjective. Oh, he got a little ligament damage. God forbid. But God forbid he got a cut over his eye on his fucking eyelid, right? His whole lip busted open. We're going to bust through that face. Totally. Right? Every time. It don't matter. There's no mercy. But oh God, he has a little ligament tear in his knee and he keeps falling down off of kicks. We can't continue. So Yuri confused his own damn self, bro. He did not show Carlos Olberg mercy in the sense of like, I'm not going to hurt you anymore and I'm going to lose this fight because you're injured. That's basically what he's saying. The only other alternative is like, oh, I'm showing you mercy by not kicking the leg. I'm going to knock you out, with headshots. Well, then, I mean, like I'm gonna take this from Coach Longo. Okay, I'm gonna take this from Coach Longo. You should have watched The Karate Kid #1. Okay, you should have watched the original Karate Kid if that's the case, Yuri. You'd be doing all this shit. You'd be spending 72 hours in the dark. You'd be punching for 24 fucking hours. You're reading the Book of the Samurai. You carry a sword onto Aiden Ross's stream, but you forgot to watch the first episode of The Karate Kid. No mercy. No fucking mercy. Shout out to Coach Longo for that. That reference to the first Karate Kid. I refuse to believe it. I just absolutely refuse to believe it. There's just no way. There's just no way. It's way more logical to believe that Jiri Prochazka stepped back and he was trying to even petition or politic to Carlos in real time, like, call the fight, homie, call the fight, you're injured. And Carlos even speaks on this in the interview with Ariel. Carlos says, like, we made eye contact at one moment in that fight after I got injured, and he knew I was stuck in this bitch. And that's when I kind of realized, too, there was a moment of unsaid, agreement there. And that was that moment in time, which I'm speaking about with Yuri, where Yuri was signaling to Carlos, call it yourself. Get yourself out this fight. I'm going to back off of you and not hurt you. You call the fight. And Carlos looked him dead in the eye, and he said, fuck you. You're gonna have to kill me. You're gonna have to kill me. I am not stepping out this fight because you talked all that shit all week saying I'm not really like that. I'm not really like that. No, I'm really like that. And I'm mentally prepared for this shit, especially because you were putting that on me saying, I'm not ready for what you got to bring. No, I'm ready for it. Bring it now, injury or not. I'm ready for it. That's a lot of the takeaways from this interview. Now we can start playing some of the Carlos Olberg stuff, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. Like, the whole mercy thing, I think, is getting twisted up, and I think I kind of solved it. Even speaking to what Olberg said about the eye contact and signaling back to Yuri, like, I'm in this bitch. You got to kill me. I'm not getting myself out this bitch. I'm not. Fight's still on. Let's continue. And then when Yuri continued, right, he got himself knocked out with very amateur level striking technique. I have more to say about this, and it's like we're barely even getting into the interview, and it's fine. It's fine because we got a lot to dive into. But before I forget, let's just play this, right? When I say, day one shit, shout out Space Kid if you in here, because Space Kid was hitting me on the DMs earlier. I had a moment, so I hit back Space Kid, my man's top soldier, top soldier. I don't got time to respond to everybody in the DMs, but my man Space Kid, he a real one. He be sending me some good shit. And he responded to this story post. All right, let's take a look at this. Because, day one shit. Not only did Jiri Prochazka want Carlos Olberg to quit that fight, and Carlos Olberg looked him dead in the eye and he said, fuck you, you got to kill me. Come kill me, motherfucker. You talked all that damn shit. Come kill me. Right? You talked all that damn shit. I want that to get through your guys' heads right now, though. All that shit Yuri talked in the fire it sparked in Carlos. Big oos. Okay? But once the fight continued after that little brief encounter, check out what Carlos hit him with. And this is day one shit. You mean to tell me, guys, I've trained combat sports, right? Multiple. All right? I've been caught with moves on day one, and I never get caught by them again. A classic one, day one of wrestling, right? You're going to get your first double leg takedown. And if you don't get thrown over the top by one of the more veteran kids on the team, then you weren't going with anybody really good, right? Because that's one of the day one moves that kind of you get hit with. Like, you go in super overzealous, boom, blast double. Little do you know, the guy literally let you take him down because he knew you're going to come in there overzealous, and he's flipping you over the top, and he's going to do that to you 5 to 10 times till you stop him after the round and you go yo, can you tell me how you're doing that? Right? Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? How the fuck I'm not able to get these takedowns? Right? I keep flying over the top. What's the deal? So same thing here. This is a day one move. You guys can see it. I'm not no genius. Okay, I'm not no genius, but I'll tell you what, Jiri Prochazka, he also super low fight IQ when it comes to the striking. I don't know, man. How do you make it this far? And no one ever did this one to you, like a little peekaboo left hook. No one ever hit you with a peekaboo left hook. Carlos Olberg already spoke on this, saying I gave him a false sense of security and shit like that. This is what he means by it. He covered up because he's flexing that left hook, right? He's flexing the left hook. And he's like, all right, I'm going to cover it up. Bro, we got pounding already. It's like, shut the fuck up. He's like, I'm going to cover up. I'm going to cover up. Give him a false sense of security. When he comes in, boom, left hook. Watch what Carlos Olberg did twice. And he already spoke on this after the fight, too. Hold up. Let me get the headphones in. Yeah, bitch is crazy. She's just out of town or something.
I got this.
You guys see this, right? The catch hook. Boom, fades it. Boom, fades it. Yuri goes in, boom, catches him. One day that broom is going to unalive her. I'm about to start pounding up on the ceiling my damn self. Look. Peekaboo, boom. Peekaboo, boom. Peekaboo, boom. So, I mean, 3 times he feinted it. Twice before he landed it. And when it comes to... I say all this to say, right? Yuri made it this far in his career. He like mid-30s. And he's getting caught with this. He never got caught with this in any training ever before. He's not training with good enough people, bro. He's just not. Knock back LFG. I'm gonna chill for now. This, I'd rather keep the stream about the shit that we're here to talk about, bro. You know? But let's not get distracted. Yeah, Carlos showed him what he was gonna do. Yuri got smashed, chinned Yuri. So, yeah, man, if I got any more for you about the fight, I will share it with you, but it's like Yuri and his excuses, bro. Bro, you just suck at striking. Let's just call the spade already. Call the spade. So I'll give you guys the caption real quick. Carlos Olberg just went off on Jiri Prochazka for claiming he showed him mercy after Olberg suffered a knee injury in the first round of UFC 327. Says he's a pretender, not a real fighter, and champions do anything to win. Also shuts down the rematch request and believes he gets his ass beat by Magomed Ankalaev. You know, here's the main thing, and then we'll play it. But I isolated the main parts. Bullshit. There was no mercy in there. His attention was full of fear, and that's what got him clipped. I think he's a pretender, and I think he knows that I know he's a pretender. From the very first time that we faced off, he knew that this was going to be a fight. I think he knew that I knew he was a pretender. I think when we had that moment where my leg was compromised, he thought this could be my opportunity. He's just playing for the crowd. People just see those sound bites and believe it. And when he says those sound bites and believe it, he's actually speaking about Yuri. He said right before that sentence, he's like, he's not punching 1, 2, 3s for 24 hours straight. And then he went on to say, he's just playing for the crowd. People just see those sound bites and believe it. I'm here to be the best in the world. I'm not here to play for the crowd. That's not a real fighter in there. That's just someone who's playing to the crowd and wants people to believe a narrative. When that word merciful was fed into his mouth, shout out Joe Rogan, piece of shit move, homie. He went with it and played with it, and that was his excuse so that he could hopefully get a rematch. There's no way he gets that rematch. I don't see him getting past Ankalaev. He gets his ass beat by Ankalaev. So, you know, Joe Rogan, again, it's like, dude, you guys are like, I don't like Joe and everyone big up in him like, oh, Joe, how did you know? How did you know that Yuri did that? Did anyone tell you? Joe's like, I just noticed it, bro. I just noticed it while I was watching the fight. I picked up on it because I'm a genius. You stupider than you look, homie, and sound, because how is that a genius move? Giving Jiri Prochazka a golden excuse and taking away from Carlos Olberg's win. That's all you did. You effectively took away from Olberg's win, ruined it for him. Olberg's going to go ahead and say, like, bro, you guys are robbing me of my storyline. You know, my storyline is I overcame this fight. I showed my mettle. I got injured, and I still knocked his ass out. I'm the better fighter. I'm the bigger dog. And this dude was calling me not as big of a dog as him going into this fight. Right? I'm the example now. Tom Aspinall crumbles off a leg injury, off an eye poke. You know, ETC. Pantoja goes down and loses his title off an injury. I got that dog in me. I'm Big Uso. I'm Big Uso. What'd I tell you guys about Polynesians, by the way? All right, Polynesians, they're no joke. And I always kind of like chalk Olberg up to not being Polynesian for some odd reason. He doesn't really look like it, I guess, but homie's definitely Polynesian. Big Uso on the block. And he showed his mettle, bro. And it's just very unfortunate that everybody's taken away from his win, from his big achievement, from his big moment, you know, from overcoming major adversity. And it's all, you know, to fucking big up this guy, Jiri Prochazka, Mr. Autistic, Mr. Excuses, Mr. Voodoo, and Mercy are my kryptonite. The list goes on, bro. And then Andrew says, Mercy, it's a fight, homie. Remember what I said earlier, homie. What does Mercy even mean, bro? When was the Mercy gonna stop? Olberg black. Yeah. I always thought he was black. I always chop him up to be black, but I mean, maybe he's Samoan and black. That's a pretty common combo, actually. Samoan and black is a pretty common type of combo. Mercy doesn't exist in any combat area. And so once again, even to America First, Andrew Nance, right? It's like, when was the Mercy going to stop? That's why I call Cap on the Mercy. I don't believe it was Mercy. When he uses the word Mercy, I believe he, you know, is really saying without saying, I wanted Olberg to call the fight himself. I stepped away. I gave him a chance to call the fight himself. The catch is that Olberg noticed it. He looked him back in the eye and he said, nah, not today. We running this. Yuri stepped back in the fight and he couldn't get the job done. And worst of all, he can't admit to it. You know, that's the worst of all. He can't admit to it. And this ain't the first time. Not the first time. Olberg, an island boy. Shout out to the island boys. Hopefully he not doing no Diddy activities like them boys. Okay, let's watch it. Let's watch it. We've been live for 30 minutes talking about everything. Let's finally watch the clip.
He has said since that he showed you mercy and he regrets that. And he let his guard down as a result of that.
Bullshit. Bullshit. That's bullshit. Total bullshit. That's fear. That was fear that he had. That wasn't any kind of mercy. Like, he knows he's a fighter, and that's the difference between a champion and someone who's just playing for the crowd. There was no mercy in there. He was full of fear, hesitation, and that's what got him clipped.
So part of the reason why people love him so much is because he has this sort of like warrior, samurai, martial arts demeanor. Do you feel like he's just playing for the crowd? Is that what you're alluding to when he does that?
I think he's a pretender. I think he's a pretender, and he knew that. I think he knows. I know that he's a pretender. So I think from the very time
he has said since that
we faced off, he knew that this is going to be a fight. This is a real one right in front of me. He could feel it. So he knew that I knew he's a pretender. So I think when he had that moment where my leg was compromised, he thought, oh, this could be my opportunity. But with the perseverance that I had and pushed through that and was able to adapt with it, I wasn't going anywhere. There was that very moment where we locked each other in the eyes, and he knew, damn, this is going to be a fight. He's not going anywhere, and I've still got my hands. That's the danger that I have is one shot can kill him.
When did you come to the conclusion, like you say this about him, we've never really heard anyone say this about him. When could you feel like this guy isn't who maybe the world thinks he is? When did you feel that? When did you come to that conclusion?
I've always known it. He doesn't hit 1, 2, 3 for 24 hours. He's just playing for the crowd. People just see those sound bites and believe it. That's playing for the crowd.
I've always known it. He doesn't hit 1, 2, 3 for 24 hours. It's fucking hilarious. It's actually hilarious.
I'm here to be the best in the world. I'm not here to play for the crowd. I'm here to be the best.
And so, did you notice that when you faced off with him, or do you feel like you've felt this from the beginning, months ago, years ago, since this fight was booked?
Years ago.
Okay.
Yes, years ago when we first made but then also just watching and seeing how he operates, and I know that's not a real fighter in there. That's just someone who's trying to play to the crowd and wants people to believe a narrative and trying to go with it. And when that word merciful was fed into his mouth,
like this guy isn't who maybe
on that night after when he had said what he had said, he went with it and played with it, and that was his excuse so that he could hopefully get a rematch. There is no way he gets that rematch. I don't see him getting past Ankalaev. He gets his ass beat from Ankalaev, and I don't see him in that top victory.
So the one other thing I wanted to just mention about Yuri, in my opinion, is I mean, Yuri did the same thing to Olberg. He made the same mistake against Olberg that Malcolm Wellmaker made against Ethan Ewing at the end of last year. If anyone remembers this, we spoke about it. We got a former chat member who no longer belongs with us anymore, I guess. Homie's still welcome, but homie never tunes in. But Miata Boy, right? Shout out Miata Boy, still getting a shout out with his lack of presence. Might be his last shout out ever, though. You know, unless we see him back in here and he starts creating new moments. But Miata Boy did call this out, right? With the Ethan Ewing stepping in on short notice to replace Malcolm Wellmaker's opponent who fell out at the end of last year. At the weigh-ins and shit like that, in all of fight week, Wellmaker was underestimating Ewing, acting like he's the big dog, like he's the better fighter, like he's the superior guy, like the UFC's, you know, setting up Ewing to get knocked out by Wellmaker to get put on his highlight reel. Okay, Yuri, when Olberg says these things about Yuri, I kind of forget exactly what sparked this thought, but in this clip, he was saying something along the lines of, oh, playing up to the crowd, etc. That's what I think it is with Yuri, is he was playing up to the crowd in terms of like everyone thought that Yuri was going to be the superior fighter and Yuri played up to it. And I think it bit him in the ass. I think that Yuri was acting like this was a cakewalk. The fight was his and won, you know, before it even took place. You know, they're setting Olberg up. They all want Yuri to be champion. Yuri's the favorite. Everyone likes Yuri. Everyone believes in Yuri. And I don't think that that worked out for Yuri. I think that that played against his best interest. I think he wasn't very good at that, handling that, right? Being the, like, you guys know Volk, right? Volk is always the A side, so to speak, in a lot of his fights, and he acts like it, but he keeps it respectful. At the same time, he always keeps it respectful, never overlooks his opponents, right? No matter the challenge, he never overlooks them, but he always maintains a confidence that he's going to win. But, you know, he's always the A side as well, meaning like people are talking about him as if these fights are foregone conclusions. His opponent's getting set up. He's got no shot. But Volk does a good job of maneuvering with that, right? Of handling all that. Yuri, he got put in that spot this week. You know, he got put in that A side spot that we're going to talk as if this fight is a foregone conclusion, and he played into it. Instead of shutting some things down, instead of staying true to himself, instead of showing extra respect to Carlos, right? He played into it. That's my opinion. That's my other opinion that, you know, I've gathered from this fight week, from Carlos's reactions, from Yuri's things he's been saying. And then Ju said, is Olberg watching our lives? Now he's saying Yuri full of fear when we brought that up the night of. Yeah, we were speaking about that fear thing, you know, get scared of getting knocked out. I mean, homie, come on now. I think that if you kind of remember a lot of the things I say, they do. I mean, shit. They come true quite often. Everything I've said about Olberg after the fight is pretty much coming true, right? I said that Yuri was scared of getting knocked out. That's why he got knocked out. Not because it was actually like the most hard shot ever, right? Because he was scared of getting knocked out. Olberg saying that. Olberg says that homie took away from his win, right? That Joe Rogan fed him the excuse. I say that Joe Rogan offered the excuse up on a silver platter. Same shit, but different. So, telling you guys, I speak it from the heart, you know, like that, the homie JT lines. It's like, I don't even come up with the takes, boys. The takes, they find me, they flow through me. I'm a vessel. The takes flow through me. It ain't about nothing. You know, I'm aligned with a set of morals and so to speak. I don't got all the words for it right now, but I'm aligned. You know, I got my moral compass aligned, And with that moral compass aligned, boys, we never veer off it, and the takes just flow through me. You know, it's like that fucking machine where like you drop a ball in there, right? And it goes like zigzagging. It's like that's my moral compass. Like we go through these topics and the ball is going through it zigzagging, and we always stay down the middle neutral. We don't let no hate, we don't let no love necessarily, unless it's buck. We don't let no love overcloud our judgments, right? No hate, no love ever clouding our judgments. We don't hate nobody. We don't necessarily even support nobody. We want the truth. We want what's real. And I say all that to say that, you know, I've been speaking about this on an island because everyone glazing up Yuri per usual, right? Everyone glazing up Yuri per usual. I'm on an island calling out Yuri, coping excuses. He got knocked out because he was scary. All of these things. Come Monday, Carlos comes out on his interview with Ariel, backs up everything I've been saying on his behalf. Like I say, boys, the takes flow through me. They flow through me just like the lines, you know, the straight line theory. JT Lines don't set it. The homie JT Lines don't set it. All right, they flow through him. I don't make the takes. I'm just the vessel. Yuri just was a tard that night. Could have avoided the left hook if his hands were up. Showed head movement and had his hands up in the last two, so it's not like he's not capable. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he does show improvements, but it's just like they never, I mean, bro, Yuri, I mean, there's no explaining it. I feel like honestly, with the lack of explanation there for Yuri, it's like bro just might be cooked, man. He might have been overhyped. He might actually just be cooked. Yo, that's crazy. That's so passive aggressive. It's insane. 9:15, by the way. We not shutting up, but I do need to take just a step away for one moment. One moment. Yuri has a chance he missed. He never thought it happened. In his mind, he is winning smoothly as he watched leg problem also. Just simple overconfident. Might be after watching leg. Zim, that was terribly written. After that one hand, everyone reaction. That's crazy. Wiper is still in the rankings. This is a game of inches. Yuri could have easily won by getting on his bike and ride out the remaining minute plus. Yuri let him win, says Tuxedo. Thank you for the $2 dono. Yuri Def could have won that spamming leg kicks or being on his bike. He could have. He could have. Tony, the first guy to show a guy mercy and lose, don't forget. Who did Tony show mercy to and lose? I forget that. Just give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. All right, back to what we were saying. So, yeah, man, I think we've been pretty spot on about this whole Carlos Olberg thing, and we could play a couple other clips, but I mean, let's definitely play this one.
You can't make
Let's definitely play this one. This is Olberg calling out Yuri for being a sore loser, bro. You know, this is the thing, though. This is the thing, right? And I don't know. Before I even start hopping on Yuri about this, to be honest, I'll leave it alone. I won't go either way with this one. I'll chill. But I'm saying, you know, Olberg feels Yuri is a sore loser. You know, Olberg feels as if Yuri didn't come up to him and congratulate him after the fight and let bygones be bygones and be a good sport. So, you know, I captioned this post. I said, Carlos Ulberg calls out Jiri Prochazka for being a sore loser and taking away from his big accomplishment. You didn't even come and congratulate me after the fight. You know, and Yuri always comes off to be this humble dude, but it's like, I mean, his true colors are showing. Excuses, no congratulations, no sign of embrace. Like, I thought he was too autistic to have an ego. That's what I've been saying about Yuri somewhat of this week. I'm like, bro's ego's showing. And it's like, you know, he breaking character. You can't be autistic and have an ego. It's impossible.
excuses out there. He didn't even come and congratulate me after the fight. And so I was like, you know, normally I'm quite like I really show animosity, or I show love to anyone that I fight. And they know too, like, you know, the ones that know. But with him, it was a bit different because I just feel he's more just trying to play to the crowd. What they've pretty much taken away there was you know, on that in that fight was a very compromised knee, very very compromised knee. Someone who was at a disadvantage came back from that from that adversity and got a win in that moment. So that was taken away because he had said that he had shown mercy. When I feel like that's sad, because the storyline now could have been so much better with you know, someone who would come back from a trouble like this and being in such a disadvantage and came back and really kept strong mind and stayed calm in any situation. But now that's been kind of clouded because of the whole mercy narrative. You can't make it.
Okay, so, you know, the mercy narrative clouding his win, calling out Yuri for being a sore loser. I didn't say it. You know, Olberg did. Do I know the extent of their relationship in the cage? Was I there? No. So I'm just going to leave it alone. I see Jew and Top Tier Hustle saying light heavyweight is cooked again. 205 low key dead. It's been dead. You know, before this fight, I mean, come on. It's kind of, I mean, no offense to Olberg because he won it and shit, but it's like, you know, Olberg was the one who went up in there and got that title fight. And I don't want to explain my thought, but it's like, if you guys get what I'm saying, that's Olberg being the one to fight for the vacant title, so to speak, to even get up there, right, in the first place with his mixed martial arts experience. The whole thing, yeah, 205 kind of cook low key. The main event it's a good one. Don't get me wrong, it's a good one. But it's also because of the style matchup. You know, you would expect in the Big 26 for Carlos, a guy whose, you know, second career is the UFC, for him to have a bit tougher of a rise to get that belt. But instead he goes up and he fights washed ass, cooked ass, you know, no striking Yuri. I don't want to explain that. You know, if you guys if you guys get it, you get it, but I don't really want to explain that. So I just say all that to say, you know, 205 been cooked, kind of still cooked. But you know, maybe it's best that Yuri got knocked out because it exposes that, like, bro, if Yuri was the best, you know, and Olberg was the underdog, then what is Olberg and what does the rest of the division look like? Right? And we, you know, it's best that we get these guys who are kind of cooked just up out of here sooner than later, not have them lingering around at the top, watering down the product for everybody. That's just my thoughts on 205, I guess you could say. Now this whole thing, right? Joao Pereira says, who they gonna fight for interim title if he's injured? Bro, would you guys fucking relax? Would you guys just fucking relax with all that? We got no injury report yet. We got a social media doctor, right, picking apart the broadcast. Okay, would you guys fucking relax? Nobody asked you guys to tell us, when the interim title coming into play, right? Oh, if somebody gets injured for 12 months, let's go ahead and all of us internet sleuths, let's just say that the interim title is coming. Would you guys fucking relax? There's more to the story than meets the eye of a injury and he out for 9 to 12 months. Okay. First of all, you cannot, strip a champion or make them fight for a vacant title, so to speak, or interim title, unless he doesn't defend his belt for a total of 12 months. So, if he's ready to go in 9 months and he returns in 10, all right, what's the difference? If he's fully healed in 9 months, he takes a 3-month training camp, he returns in 12, there's going to be no interim title. We're coming off a vacant title fight, for the record, if anybody forgot that. I don't think the UFC's in a rush to just strip the champion or to take away the clarity of the division. If anything, they'll give Olberg like 15 months with no interim title fight in the making. Keep in mind, 205 is cooked. I just got done explaining to you guys, we put these two in the vacant title fight. And I just explained to you that that's kind of cooked in its own right. That Carlos Olberg is up in this vacant title fight. Please tell me what other two fucking washed ass dudes we're putting up there in Carlos's time away while he heals. Please tell me your suggestion. I don't got one for you, Jayo. I would just like to tell you to fucking chill the hell out. And not just you. I'm singling you out, but everybody else who's oh my gosh, yeah, interim title on the way. I'm Mr. MMA expert. Relax, homie. Like Cartman says, relax, guy. Relax, guy. Or who is that? That's not Eric Cartman. That's Trump from South Park. That's Trump on South Park, Relax, guy. Nobody asked you guys. Relax. Nobody asked you guys to fucking tell me, when this interim title shot is coming along. Nobody asked. Relax, guy. Relaxed guy. Relax, guy. All right. Shout out South Park. Nothing I love more than a fucking reference from South Park. Oh shit, I still had the tag on these pants. It's kind of embarrassing. Saddam Hussein, LOL. To Satan, yeah, exactly. Tyler Betts loves all my South Park references. Shout out my man Tyler Betts. Yeah, to Satan, he always goes, relax, guy. Because, Trump got Satan pregnant and Trump being a deadbeat father while Satan's pregnant. It's the funniest shit ever. Okay. But Andrew Nann's dying. It's like, relax, guys. Please relax. Stop it with the, who's fighting for the interim title? Nobody, probably. And can we at least speak about it when it's confirmed that Olberg's going to be out for 12 months? Can we at least just wait till then? I'm not talking about an interim title based off Brian Stutterer on X's report. I'm just not doing it. So, I don't know who needed to hear that, but it's like, guys, chill the fuck out. One more time. Relax, guy. Relax. Tony M says, Craig can't strip Carlos now. Maybe back in the day, though. I mean, yeah, there's context to every situation. Repeating other people's thoughts. Me repeating other people's thoughts, or Joao, you're repeating other people's thoughts? It must be you. No one's telling people to relax about the interim title but me, as a matter of fact. I'm the only one doing it. Per usual, I'm the only one on an island saying what really needs to be said, not just jumping on bullshit internet narratives. But Jayo, I love you, homie. It ain't no hate, homie. It ain't no hate. In fact, I'm appreciative of your chat because I couldn't have done that little bit I just did if you didn't drop the chat in here. Jayo says no. Nah, Jayo, we on the same page, homie. It's all love. Don't trip. Olberg will paint his nails and be all right. He strikes me as a black paint or black nail polish type of guy. Interim title fight for every division. Diddy Booty Jackson versus Olberg LFG. All right, what else we got? What else we got for the Olberg thing before we get into D-Rod? Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Um, what's up with Strickland and Buck, or is that a older post? It's just an older post. It's the same. It's the same beef, Jew. It's just pinned to the profile. I could probably take it down, but it got a nice 15K likes on there, 3,000 comments. So I figure it looks kind of nice on that front page. Real down as Vato. Um. Wait, what is this? I just see a Josh Hokett video, and we gotta stop everything we're doing to watch it. It's getting to a point.
Yeah, I'm not really I'm not really like a ladies man. I'm not. I'm pretty ugly, actually. I'll stick my head out the window and get arrested for mooning. Yeah.
Type shit. The person captioned the video. All right. So if we go to Ariel, I mean, I'm trying to see, some of Ariel's big clips on the evening. Ariel had a good show today. I can't cap about that. He also got to the bottom of the Izzy beef. But hold up. Okay, Olberg believes Ankalaev deserves title shot next. We saw that though. And that's mostly where Olberg goes in on Prochazka for being a poor sport. But I just wanted to, because we spoke about the injury just moments ago. The fuck bros like me if I let my intrusive thoughts win. Hokett taking the shortcut to CTE. Honestly, I think Hokett is actually like a crazy guy deep down. I think he's not playing as much of a character as we think he is. But because we were just speaking on the injury, let's hear Olberg's thoughts on it.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. We're just waiting. We're just waiting for. Well, I'll get the scans done when I arrive in Vegas this week, and we'll know everything once that's all done. Yeah, we don't know for sure. We're just waiting.
He doesn't know for sure. Just waiting. Got to get scans still. So no point in speaking about nothing. No point in speaking about nothing. But while we're just on Ariel's page, let's just do it all in one go. Not the D-Rod thing yet. There's a lot to that. But let's do Eugene Behrman. And oh wait. Eugene reveals Carlos had a staph infection in his right leg prior to UFC 327. He got a staph infection earlier in the camp in that leg, which basically put that leg out of contention for a week or two. It's not related. The staph was lower down on his leg. I think this was all to do with the structure of his knee. Okay. Good to know. once again, you know, Sean Brady is a pussy for ever pulling out of fights with staff. What I tell you guys, everybody goes into fights with staff. Even high school wrestlers will put tape over their staff so they can compete. Sean Brady's such a puss for that. But nah, let's do the rift in the camp. Eugene basically says, spoiler alert, Eugene says that they were beefing. Izzy and he basically confirms, you know, he goes, Carlos and Izzy were beefing, but you know, they were around each other for this camp and for Izzy's camp, and whatever they had going on is like water under the bridge. But, you know, Eugene can't do anything about these guys following each other back on social media. Tyler Betts goes, that's such BS. He knows if he went to the doctors. He said he didn't go to the doctor. Olberg says he's waiting to go to the doctor. He's still in Florida. He's going to get x-rays in Vegas when he arrives. If that's what you're referring to. Hashtag Brady Bunch. Speaking of Joaquin and hashtag Brady Bunch, I know that part 1 of the Joaquin Buckley interview was supposed to drop today. It's dropping tomorrow. We had some, just some like, when I uploaded it, the monetization got fucked for a second. So I had to go back and make some edits and make sure I could make some money off that post. So by the time I was done with it, it was too late in the day. I didn't want to post it at like 5 p.m. So we'll be posting the part 1 of the Joaquin Buckley interview tomorrow morning, early, like 10 a.m. or something. And you'll want to see it. It's everything we speak about Sean Brady in that interview. I believe it's a 34-minute clip. And it's titled, Joaquin Buckley, quote, I'm going to pull the bitch out of Sean Brady at UFC 328. That's the title of the video. You know, just a straight quote from Joaquin Buckley. It says, Joaquin Buckley, then it got his quote, I'm going to pull the bitch out of Sean Brady at UFC 328. That's the quote. Part 1. Joaquin Buckley pulling the bitch out of Sean Brady at UFC 328. 34-minute clip. All hot fire. You already know that's all we spit. That was a side note. Let's watch this part. But let me read a couple chats. Tyler Betts says Cap. Olberg apparently knows the extent of his knee injury. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe if he went to the doctors in Miami, which I mean, I just wasn't paying attention. I might have missed that detail. If he did go to the doctors in Miami, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, why wouldn't they just get an x-ray done there? But maybe he wants to get a second opinion, Tyler Betts. That's a pretty common thing in the medical field. You go, you get a second opinion, and then you kind of go to the public with it. Devil's advocate. Tyler Betts goes, so he's walking around fine, question mark. Well, in the Ariel interview, he was saying that it's taking him a bit longer to kind of like walk around. He's definitely feeling it. You guys know me by now. I'm just relaying the information. But I am buying into Olberg's narrative unless somebody can give me some type of bulletproof like thing that his leg is fine. But I'm gonna buy into it. Here's me. Here's where I think everybody should be with it. Wait, just no matter what, boys. You know, even if Olberg knows, he still hasn't shared it with the public, right? Let's put it like that. Let's play into Tyler Betts. Tyler Betts says that's BS. He knows if he went to the doctors. Shit. Well, if he knows Tyler Betts, we don't know. And until we know, we can't comment. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm just waiting for the information to come out and then we can speak on it. But until the information comes out, it's like we're exhausting ourselves thinking that he might be faking or, you know, I don't know. I just got to wait for it to come out. That's all I could do. Staff 2 is crazy. Anything to push the narrative. Yuri didn't hurt him. Tyler Betts is pissed about that. That's right. Tyler Betts been pissed about that since the night. Carlos claiming, you know, I guess Yuri didn't hurt his leg or something. I haven't caught on to that story, to be honest with you. I haven't been seeing much of that story. But shit, shout out to Tyler Betts. All right, let's watch. You know, this Eugene Behrman explaining the beef of Izzy and Carlos. They're chill now. They just don't follow each other. That's the word on the street. That's from the horse's mouth.
I want to be clear. I didn't ask Carlos this question. And the main reason why I'm asking it to you is because you're the head man and you're always very honest and open. And it's a rare story that has popped up. But there is some reporting that there's been a rift in the camp between Carlos and Izzy. You could tell me to fly a kite. And if you don't want to go into it, I respect that. But I did want to ask because it keeps coming up. Is that an issue right now in the camp?
No. No, I mean, the boys trained together leading up to this camp. They trained together leading up to Israel's fight. Man, look, in any gym, there's always going to be times when you're bumping heads with people. You know, I've had people sparring and training together and they end up in a full-blown fist fight. And then, you know, they don't dab up and make friends until 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? Like, we are not playing chess or checkers here. Like, things happen. It's a physical and emotional sport. But yeah, the boys are all good.
Okay.
But the media and social media, they love to. They say what they want. You know what I mean?
No, and I wanted to talk to you because you always tell to us straight, and you are the boss, so to speak. And so I knew that you would shed some light. I didn't want to saddle him with any of that, but it keeps popping up. Yeah. I don't know how people find out about who's following who and all this stuff. Honest to God, I have no idea. But I thought maybe I would give you the opportunity to clear the air.
Yeah, I mean, the boys are getting on fine, mate. Like, it's like a, yeah. Like all my fighters, like I just said,
yeah.
Sometimes they're not getting along, but you know, right now they train together and they were civil to each other through the camp. It seems like whatever had happened is, you know, behind them. We've moved on. I mean, I get that all the time, mate, but for whatever reason, social media has taken off with this one, and it's just gonna fly wherever it flies. But yeah, that's from the horse's mouth, isn't it?
I appreciate that.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say one of two things happened here. I mean, I'm just guessing. This ain't no fact, obviously. How the fuck would I know? But reading between the lines, I think one of two things happened. Either Eugene Behrman kind of like revealed it and you know, exposed the reason why they were beefing and are no longer beefing, but that they got in a fist fight, right? They got in a straight scrap and they actually got pissed at each other, so they stopped being friends for a little bit. I mean, I could see that happening. That makes the most sense. Or, I mean, Olberg, a good-looking dude now. You know, Izzy, I think he had an ex, right? He had an ex that was trying to take him for all he was worth. Shit, man. Hopefully Olberg didn't get caught sliding up in those DMs or something. Or any of Izzy's exes. But that's kind of my thoughts. If anyone wants to be like, oh, you know, what's your guess as to why they're beefing? Probably what Eugene said as far as actually scrapping in the gym. Or Olberg fucked one of Izzy's ex-chicks or something. What's poppin', Soda Pop? Says, A. Jacob just got home. It's t-shirt and sweats weather in New York now. Okay. All right. So is that like summertime? T-shirt and sweats is kind of summertime vibes. No more puffer jackets. Yeah, it's getting hot over here too, to be honest, in Cali. It's getting hot. Last couple of days been kind of cool though. But it's pretty much summertime over here in Cali. By a month from today, it's going to be summer. May is officially summer here. I mean, I think May is kind of summer for a lot of people, right? Is he gay for real though? Olberg like, nah, I'm gonna walk it off. Oh, nah, I do not rock puffers. I'm not a light skin with curly hair. Yeah, all them light skins with curly hair be rocking them puffers, don't they? Shout out to Soda Pop. I got the reference, though. You can finally ditch the hoodie. Tyler Betts said, Hokie goes straight to the ambulance, but clearly injured Olberg hasn't been to a doctor yet. Tyler Betts, I'm listening. Trust me, I'm listening. That makes sense to me. I couldn't disagree with you. That seems a bit odd. But hey, that's what I'm saying. Maybe Olberg does know, but he hasn't relayed it to us yet. Maybe he's waiting to get a second opinion. Yo, Perry, remember yesterday when I said I'm watching Corn and then I was like, I can send you a screenshot of what I'm watching? I do remember that. And also, I'm gonna stop saying your full name, by the way. I was listening to the replay, bro, and shouting out I love that constantly is too much. So I'm gonna just call you I. You know, I hope you know it was fun while it lasted, but I can't just be shouting out I love, you know, butt sex every day of the week. You feel me? I think he's gonna be fine. We'll see. We'll see, Tony. I'm just waiting. All right. Now we can go over the whole D-Rod thing. It's like a little 4-minute clip. Oh, Sopo goes, by the way, I broke fight news, but got no credit. I announced ZM versus Nolan in January, and it just got announced officially. Well, if you were an official journalist for my page, Soda Pop, you would have had to get credit. Think about it like that. If you posted it through Perry Punch as your real self, so to speak, because I don't think you can get credit for being a ruthless Soda Pop, or maybe you can. Maybe you can. I do feel like you got to reveal your identity, though. No, I don't know. That's a good question. But Soda Pop, you should if you got news like that, you should actually just report it through my page. I should just make a post and tag you and give you the credit. And then my page will announce it first, but it'll be via you. You feel me? You see how that works? So if you do have a locked in announcement, you should let me know that and tell me to post it on my page. And then, you know, you and I, so to speak, will get the credit. It would be like as if you're Damon Martin reporting through MMA fighting. You feel me? Damn it, I missed when you would say my full name. I know. All good things must come to an end. It was fun while it lasted. Shout out. I saw MMA Joey in another chat earlier when he was the mod, so I said something rude to him and he banned me. The hell? Why would he be modding in another one? In another chat? He got better things to do than that. Tyler Betts was reading I love so-and-so's name in French in his head until I read it out yesterday. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, so it goes, I knew about Holland versus Brown since January 2, by the way. I be knowing a lot. Well, homie, if you do have these inklings, I mean, by you reporting it through my page, it's gonna give you extra clout, you know? So if you wanna run that up, we could do that. Just DM me. Just be like, yo, this fight's happening. Like, I know for sure. But, you know, you got to remember, you're reporting on my behalf too. So we got to make sure it's credible. Those fights do have to come to fruition or else we're going to get fucking doxxed like Crazy Kev. You feel me? We do not want to get doxxed like Crazy Kev, but this guy will tell me what's in the works and I'll just post and it's always right, but I just never have the date. Well, see, that's where I can come into play because if you knew about Holland versus Randy, I could have DM'd Randy. But the crazy thing is Randy probably didn't even know. Isn't that the funny part? Like, Randy probably wouldn't even know. If I were to DM Randy and be like, yo, I hear you're fighting Kevin Holland. Like, do you know the date? He'd probably be like, nah, I don't know the date. I don't even know I'm about to fight Kevin Holland. Because we all know, right? I asked Joaquin, did you know your fight was getting announced against Brady? And he's like, no, I didn't. I didn't even know I was fighting Brady. I think they do that because of like, you know, what Soda Pop's saying, how he has a guy who will tell him what's in the works. And then like the UFC really makes sure the fighters don't know because the UFC knows that people will reach out to the fighters to confirm these rumors. It was in Faraz Zahabi's live stream and they were going to be collabing soon. Okay. I know for a fact Marcus McGee is booked for May 16th. Should I DM Marcus McGee and be like, yo, who you fighting May 16th? I don't know why Zahabi would want to collab with that loser, but okay. Yeah, I have no clue. Shara fighting on the Baku card on June 27th with Michelle Pereira. Has that been announced or no? Yeah, Soda Pop said I'm being told about the fights before the fighters know. I know. As soon as I started saying that, you tell me and then I'll relay it to the fighters. I was like, damn, these fighters aren't going to know. I got told about Holland versus Randy in like December and it got announced in March. Yeah, no fucking shot Randy knew about that in December. I wonder who Magic Bet's connection is, because Magic Bet's got the connection of all connections. Cupcake says, what's up, boys? Tuning in from the Uber Eats session. What we talking about? Hey, what's popping, homie? We're about to get into the D-Rod thing, so it's a good time. Same with Victoria and Nerdy. I've seen the Baku card on Sherdog. Okay.
You want to talk?
So let's watch the D-Rod thing. Shout out to Cupcake, shout out Tony M. D-Rod gonna tell all. Spoiler alert. Homie tried to smuggle an ounce across the border. Well, 27 grams, not 28. But, I mean, man. What you doing smuggling kush across the border, D-Rod? With a pocket full of cash, too. You know, homie like pulled over and shit like that. He's like, should I get rid of this weed? This 27 grams? Then he's like, nah, I got a pocket full of cash, bro. If anything happens, I'm just going to pay off these security guards. It did not happen like that. Not at all. 8 months later, homie just now getting his freedom back. Let it be a lesson. And for the record, you know, D-Rod says that Mexico, they're not playing with Americans right now. The border is hot because of all the ICE deportations. And they try to make an example out of him. That's what he believes. That's what he said.
And so could you tell us everything? I just want to listen for as long as you want to talk. What happened? Where were you? What have you been through? Take us from the beginning up until now, if you can.
Man, if you, pretty sure y'all remember my last fight versus Kevin Holland. You know, it was an amazing matchup, and you know, went on vacation to cross the border. I crossed the border of Mexico, and you know, forgot I had a little bag of weed with me, man. It was under an ounce, and got pulled over at the line and got checked, man. And man, the border patrol were tripping on the weed, and you know, I was thinking I was only going to be in there like probably the weekend, maybe a little bit shorter, but. Man, the laws over there out there in Mexico, they're way different, man. They don't play no games, you know. So what I was thinking would turn into what was going to be, you know, probably a little weekend or maybe overnight, turn into 8 months, man. Right in the prime and the smack prime of my career, man. And yeah, man, that was it, dude.
And that is an unbelievable thing. For those that may not remember, that fight against Kevin Holland was in July. How soon after that fight are we talking that you were crossing the border?
Exactly 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks, man. I was in celebration mode. I was just headed out to Rosarito and just have a good time and spend the weekend out there. And you know, I didn't think twice, man. I made a mistake and trying to get some weed over the border, man. And if anybody in Mexico knows, the weed over there is just trash.
So he said he forgot he had a bag of weed on him. Real quick, I ain't trying to do this to D-Rod, but it's like he says he forgot he had a bag of weed on him, and then he goes on to say, you know, I was trying to get some weed across the border because all the weed in Mexico is trash, if anyone knows. It's like, homie, yeah, we figured you didn't forget you had a bag of fucking weed on you. 27 grams, that's a massive ass fucking bag of weed you got on you. You know, not a massive, but I mean, you got a full mason jar in the car, essentially, full of kush. So, of course, you didn't forget about it. Of course, you were trying to sneak it through. And you had a pocket full. You had a pocket full. You thought you could sneak it through, but it's all, I mean, it's not all good, but I just found it funny. He tried to initially say he forgot about it, but he didn't forget about it. He was intentionally bringing it because the weed sucks in Mexico. And I don't want to do this really, but it's like, homie, like you just got to follow the laws, man. It's like, you know, you just got to follow the laws. You can't be doing shit like that. You got kids too. Like he speaks about it. He's like, I got a son and shit, and I almost crashed out too when we were leaving the border. Anyone ever been through the Mexico border? You know the deal, right? A lot of the Mexicans are on the border trying to make a buck, right? They're selling all kinds of things, bro. Back in the day, I bought like a spear. Like I bought like a spear shaft with a glass thing on top of it. I bought all kinds of shit crossing the border. Kids be juggling, crossing the border, juggling for tips and shit like that. The border's crazy for Mexico. Anyway, D-Rod was leaving, about to cross the border to go back into the US after his prison stay. His son was driving him home, and this dude almost got himself locked up again. Somebody along the border was trying to get him to give him money for playing a guitar song or something. D-Rod said he had no money. Dude started talking shit to him. He got out the car, started pressing him before soon realizing, oh shit, I need to chill, bro. I need to fucking chill. Before I get myself locked up again, I got my son with me driving me home. So just saying, D-Rod, quit making dumbass decisions. I mean, don't want to be on you too hard about that, but bro, come on, man. I don't take no pride in doing that. It's really, I'm not trying to down D-Rod, but he made a bad decision, and it was a deliberately stupid decision. It was a deliberate, stupid decision. Have I snuck weed on a plane before? Yeah, and maybe it's a lesson to myself too, right? I've snuck like a Kush chocolate bar on the plane. I took edibles on a plane before, but the actual flower, that's kind of risky. Anyway, let's continue. Perfecto goes, he didn't have a friend in the car to take the charge. What the fuck? He did have a friend in the car, Perfecto, and that person got locked up with him for 8 months. It was a female. It was his girlfriend. Perfecto once again says, I really feel D-Rod is not telling the whole story. Well, Perfecto, is that all that your thought goes to? Like, I'm honestly curious. Is that really all you think in your head? It just stops at that? It just stops there? You hear this and you think D-Rod's not telling the whole story and it just stops there? Or is there like, I think the story is actually related to this? I would like to hear that part more than D-Rod's not telling the whole story. I would like to hear why you think D-Rod's not telling the whole story or what you think the real story is. Because we can't pay no bills. We can't get nowhere by just telling other people we think that he's not telling the truth. I mean, you got to explain it more. So it says UFC 328. I go and meet up with King Green and we listen to Tory Lanez after he beats Jeremy Stevens. Shout out. You ain't making shit off of 27 grams. What do you mean making shit? Selling money? Or like, you can make like $270 off 27 grams. Weed still shit in Mexico. Remember hearing about Mexican brick weed since Lil. I mean, I wouldn't know. Cartel got their weed connects. Trying to sell 27 grams, transporting and being in the UFC would be wild. I mean, I hope that, no way he was trying to sell 27 grams. I think, no. He was going to Mexico and he brought an ounce of weed with him to smoke and probably share with the homies. Doubt he was trying to make $1 off it. You seen that Vittoria X Jones pic from Saturday? The people saying they're expecting a kid. I kind of saw it on my timeline, but I scrolled right past it. I can't type all that, homie. I'm not about to write a fucking paragraph on here, homie. All right. I mean, I get that you don't believe him. I mean, the curiosity is just killing me, Perfecto. It's just I would like to know what other people think it might be, but it's fine. You think he got in a fight? Like, that's what I'm wondering. You think he got in a fight? You think he beat up a chick? Like, anything? You think he got caught stealing? Drunk in public? Car crash? I mean, there's a lot of one-word answers you could give me, actually. speeding,
So
you know, smuggling cocaine for the cartel. I mean, we could get real crazy with it.
yeah, you know, man, I made an honest mistake, man, and ended up paying some time for it.
Is there any particular reason why they were searching your car as you're crossing over the border? That doesn't happen all the time, right?
Nah, man, I guess their excuse was that there were no license plate tags in the front. So yeah, just like to raise a little bit of awareness, everybody. Like, man, be careful when you're crossing that border right now. Right now, it's really hot because the whole Trump thing, I guess, deporting everybody and you know, I guess they got a grudge against Americans, you know, and um, I guess they try to make an example out of me, man. I try to keep a low profile, try not to let them know who I am or who I was, you know, and you know, it didn't work out. It didn't work out the way I wanted to, man.
Did you get the impression that they had any sort of idea while they're searching you or have your license or whatever, that they know who you are, that you're a famous person, UFC fighter? Did they show you any indication that they knew who you were?
Nah, they had no idea. Usually, um, there's opportunities to get yourself out of certain situations over there in Mexico, and I was hoping for that. You know, I had a water full of cash with me at the time, and try to see if I could catch a break. You know, I try to see if, you know, they could help me out. You know, and because it wasn't the police. It was actually the border patrol, the National Guard. Like, you know, they don't play no games. And I didn't realize that you know, that they take it so seriously, and potentially they hit me with a smuggling charge. So over there, I guess like that's a really big deal, you know. And I try to offer some money to get me out right there on the spot, but they weren't going for it, man.
Perfecto goes, it's love, homie. I know I give short statements. No worries, Perfecto. No worries. I'm just pushing. I'm just pushing you for a take, homie. I'm just pushing you for a take. I see. I see Tyler Betts though saying like, you right, Perfecto. You can tell he's lying, but just not sure about what exactly. Bro, incriminating himself. Yeah, I don't know. No bribing charge? Question mark. I don't know. Some nerd will find the police report. But yeah, I was looking for one of those narratives like Tony M saying, tried running off on the Hong Kong tab. It could have been tried running off on the Hong Kong tab for sure. But if he got caught up at the border, I don't know. Who knows, man? Did he have a gun on him? I don't know. Perfecto also says, someone his level is just unbelievable to me for him to be so stupid. I got you. So yeah, that's D-Rod. He also did speak about whether or not he's interested in fighting Kevin Holland. Apparently, Kevin Holland messaged him after he won against Randy Brown. And D-Rod not interested. D-Rod wants to go on like this UFC champion run. And D-Rod actually eyeing a return against Leon Edwards in about 3 months. I believe that's what he said. A return against Leon Edwards in like 3 months. Something like that. But that would be dope if D-Rod runs it against Leon. I think it's a decent fight for him. You know, they gave D-Rod to Ian Gary during Ian Gary's come up. So, you know, if you're feeding him these level of guys, Leon Edwards is on that, you know, right in that range where he could fight him. Crazy how D-Rod makes 170 though. He a big 170 pounder.
I want to be clear. I didn't ask Carl.
Usually if they catch you with weed, they just extort you for some money. Something's fishy. Hashtag interested. I mean, yeah. D-Rod's explanation for that, Bloodhound, is that it was the you know, not the police. It was like the feds. and the feds weren't cool with it. Connor Ben getting his 15 million and buying 2 new cars with Dana's money.
Yeah.
Bro, why did Dana pay this dude 15 million if I Regis Progray on the Netflix card? Like, what the fuck? Is that like a favor for Turkey or something? Tyler Betts goes, bro had a flat screen wall mounted TV and full training equipment in jail. Sounds more like Nick's rehab. I mean, that's kind of how prisons are these days, bro. That's kind of how they are, man. You know, everybody got iPads and shit like that in prison these days. If you guys are wondering about that, D-Rod, basically they found out he was a UFC fighter, and the top dogs of the jail or the prison, you know, the pod bosses, so to speak, they took him under his wing. In the interview with Ariel, he says, I had a bunch of friends in very, very, very high places. And so these people in high places were able to give him a better stay. That's why he had the TV and shit like that, because he was staying in the top dog cell. So not everybody has TVs, not everybody has training equipment. But you know, the leaders of the jail looked after him because he was a UFC fighter. And he even admits, he goes, in exchange, I think what they wanted was for me to be their bodyguard. So I just went with it, you know, but he didn't really get tested or have to fight too much. But yeah, that I'm just trying to help you guys, you know, just, what's the word? I'm just mapping out everybody's narratives, right? I listened to the interview and I'm now hearing a lot of narratives. So I'm just trying to give you guys some context to the narratives. Free Tory. Oh, Soapop goes, new Tory Lanez album, pretty good. You got to tap in, Jacob. I mean, I like Tory Lanez. He got any hardcore bangers on there? I like a hard banger. I don't like no, like, you know, R&B shit. Here's here's what I like. Here's the type of Tory I like. You ready? Something like this. It's like the not explicit version. But anyway, something like that, something like that. Or you know, you could always play Hika. All right. Slutty bass, slutty bass. Aggression from Saturn. That just sounds kind of hard, doesn't it? It's not that good. Why does it all sound like at night I think of you? However that song goes. I know you drive me crazy. You guys know that one, right? I think that's like Drake. Do. At night I think of you. You guys know that one. Son, to be my lady, baby. Why it sounds like that to start this song? Did he fucking steal the instrumental from Drake? Tell me this doesn't sound like it. That part right there is straight stolen from Drake. That song hard actually. No, that song is hard. That song is hard. Hey, wait, Soda Pop, you said Alone at Prom is probably top 5 album for me, not gonna lie. Oh. Well, what about a song from this album? Doechii. What do you think about the song Anxiety by Doechii? I don't even know it. Should we try one more? Should we try Find Shit Paradise? Let's hear Find Shit Paradise. Okay, let's hear Keys to Vampa. Hey, Tyler Betts, you fuck with La Tyler too? I know that one song, Jada Wada. I got that one downloaded. Let's play it. Let's play Jada Wada.
Like, damn, Tyler got the song. Nigga got the flavor. Hey, look like Jada Waiter. They like, damn, man, Tyler got the sauce. He got the flavor. God, down skin, bitch. Look like Jada Waiter. Gang, y'all sing it to your maker. Hey, y'all. Gang, They like, damn, Tyler got the sauce, that nigga got the flavor. Need a bad brown skin bitch who look like Jada Waiter. Slide up on you, bitch, real smooth, nigga, I'm a player. Wake up every day, I hit my knees and then I say a prayer. They like, damn, Tyler snapping on the beat, that boy a gator. Man, I'm steady getting to that cheese, ain't worried about a hate. He can't do dumbing in the truck.
Wait, Tyler Bet says Law and Order and backflipping. Okay, let's go to La Tyler. Where's Law and Order? I don't see that one. You mean Too Slippery? Okay. We'll play one more on YouTube. Law and Order Part 2. Soda Pop says Kodak Black he fucks with. Kodak's probably one of my favorite rappers, to be honest with you. I got all the Kodak. I literally got all the Kodak. I couldn't even tell you what my favorite song is. But honestly, this one pretty good. Actually, wait, let's play this one. That's too hardcore. You guys not going to like that one. Honestly, this what got me into Kodak. This one got me into Kodak right here. You ready for it? This the most like the most mainstream of them all, but this one fire. Come on now. All right. Last one. Law and Order Part 2.
Tyler, man, I'm finna just talk some little shit real quick, man. Ski. Y'all, man. Hey. Y'all, man. It's that Law and Order Part 2, nigga. Y'all. Gang, hey. Yeah, hey. I don't need a bitch, the Benjamins, the only thing I need. I just come up out the head, no on right, don't gotta
read. I'm with your bitch, we at the Waffle House, yeah, we on Tennessee. No on trap, but some of my niggas out here serving 10 a G. You think a nigga Freddy Krueger, I be in your bitch dream. I'm trying to run that money up, I'm trying to...
Okay. I actually want to hear this last one. FaceTime Hiding by Kodak. I must have skipped this one in the past. I literally listened to every Kodak song that he's ever made. Nah, this the best. This the best right here. This the best Kodak song for sure, in my opinion. I never. That's good. Testimony also good. Testimony also good. Hold on. Transgression. This is gonna be the last one for sure. But transgression. All right, all right, all right. That's enough. That's enough. I don't even know how we got on that. Shit. All right. All right, boys. Like the stream. If you haven't liked it, just a reminder to like the damn stream. That's pretty much it though. That's pretty much it. Oh, I want to play this for you guys because you guys are all questioning D-Rod and his prison stay. So this is gonna make you guys question him even more. Tony saying play Andre Feely rap song. I can't, homie. I'm a cringe. Let's hear D-Rod explain or not explain why he can't get out of prison.
You said that you guys came to a deal in order to get you to come out. What does that mean? Like, did they not realize to keep you there for that long was a little bit excess? Like, what is this deal that you come to in order to get you released?
I can't really speak on that right now, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really speak on the details of it, but it's yeah, it came with a price.
Okay.
You know, I don't even know if I could say that, you know.
You said that you guys.
So it came with a price. We do not know what that means though. But I'm assuming it just means he had to pay for it. Lush One made a new genre called Fent music. Bro, Lush Uno? My boy Lush Uno? the #1 crash out. Shout out Lushu, no shout out Jew. Tyler Betts, Calling My Spirit by Kodak probably is one of his better ones. One of the top ones. All right, we just finna doom scroll, and if there's nothing, there's nothing. Yeah, Guru saying the stars have not been aligning in the UFC recently. We're in a downturn for sure.
Off. Oh, she broke. Blackjack would have killed him right there if the ref didn't pull him off. What a freaking athlete this guy is. Okay, that's scary as if I'm at 205 and I gotta fight this animal. I mean, damn, the guy fought through pain. That is your meal ticket out of there. He's gonna dump everything he has into this moment. And you can see he just didn't let up an inch. It's like as soon as he heard him, he was gonna dump everything he had in him. That just shows the mind as well, where he said, hey, I'm gonna be patient, find my shot. And boy, did he take full advantage of it. Oh, she broke. Blackjack would have killed him right there if the ref.
Feely got a song with Mozzie also. For sure.
I think the biggest lesson learned here for Yuri, I mean, if he's the last samurai, he's got to finish the job. That's what you're supposed to. You're supposed to hurt somebody. You're supposed to compensate somebody. It's your kick that did that damage. You know, particularly now that Yuri's about to have a kid, man, like you should not have mercy on nobody. I mean, whose parents do you think are crying, bro? You either want your parents to cry or their parents to cry. And I think that's something that he needs to really deep down see if he really wants to, you know, keep it 100 and fighting, man. I think the mercy or whatever that was, I think sometimes to me those are just excuses, man. And I think for Olberg, he did the right thing, man. He went for broke. I think the big
Meat Rocket says Tyler Betts must be a casual. Tyler Betts, you are right. 2016 XXL freshman class was the best. Yuri apparently says, I literally fucked it up. Yuri returned home to Czech today and discussed with local media how he believes after this experience he will be stronger than ever before in the future. Still playing it up. Homie's still playing it up. Yuri, Carlos Olberg has the right read on this guy. I didn't give the performance that I wanted. Constantly soaking up media attention after the loss. I literally fucked it up. And by that, at that moment when I saw a weak opponent or an injured opponent, I won't make excuses about some pity or compassion for him. I know that at that moment, I then no longer worked at 100%. That then cost me the victory. I went to eat this up here. I want to eat this up here until the... Hold on. I want to eat this up here until the worst end, so that I can, with all these emotions, with this feeling, go further and go for that title again. Because as I talked with the UFC management, they are open. They're towards all sorts of other alternatives, whether just some interesting fight or just jump just for a title shot. I'm not saying yet straight out. Nothing is confirmed yet. However, I know that after this performance, I will no longer be the same. I will no longer give those performances that I gave. And I believe that after this experience, I will be stronger than ever before. And I will bring that title to the Czech Republic. This dude, I just want to know, like, how many aura points has this dude lost? Another freeze frame, you just see through it now. This dude is just a man. I know for a long time he didn't appear to be just a man, but this dude is mere mortal, He's just a man. I don't know if that's what mere mortal means, but I think that's what it means. He's going to die like the rest of us. He's just a man, bro. And he got propped up, and I'm just seeing all the aura loss. I'm just seeing all the aura loss. Give me a membership, Meatwad. Just realized mine's gone already. Yeah, Tyler Betts lost the Memby. Meat Rocket lost his Memby too. You guys got to re-up. IDK White didn't auto renew, TBH. If you purchased it, it should auto renew. I don't know why.
Season. Aren't you excited to go back for spring ball?
Yeah, I'm excited. Man, that last match was a grind. That's why I came out and did this sport. To test myself. To see how far I'm willing to go. At any given second, I could have gave up. But that's why you wrestle. Show what kind of heart you really have.
How do you balance doing two college sports? I mean, most people have difficulty with one,
Yeah, I take it one practice at a time.
Yeah.
Usually, when it's football season, I focus on football. When it's wrestling season, I focus on wrestling. So as soon as the football season was over, my mind went straight to wrestling, and I started, practicing. And there's no time to feel sorry for yourself. A lot of people would, saying, hey, there's no breaks, right? Because they're doing two sports. There's no time for that.
I like seeing Josh Hockett in his old form. He's always had that heart. Look at him speaking about it here, There's no time to feel sorry for yourself going back and forth between football and wrestling, right? You got to lock in. And he could have quit in the NCAAs. He could have let these matches slip and just been done with it. But he wanted to test himself, right? That's why you wrestle. I love it, bro. I love it. And speaking of how, his heart in this video, look at the heart he showed against Curtis Blades. Does it not add up? Does it not make sense? Right? They coincide with each other. The heart he speaks about here is the heart he showed in the cage on Saturday night. I fuck with this dude more and more. I fuck with him more and more. And I do see the McGregor comparisons now. I'll tell you guys that much. I do see the McGregor comparisons now. He got to keep winning. But, he'll be getting more and more McGregor comparisons as time goes on. So here's the part that I saw mid-fight, by the way. Shout out just Dovey again. This is the first trolling. This is the first site that Yuri knew something was wrong with Carlos's leg. And this was the first type of trolling he did. Okay, you guys are telling me mercy, right? Mercy this, mercy that. AD says, what's up, Jacob and crew? What's poppin', AD kid? But look at this. This is mercy. This is the first set of trolling Yuri did. After the leg injury, this is the first sign Yuri gave that he was aware that Carlos was injured. All right, take a look.
It's the right knee. Yeah, it's blocked. There's something wrong with it. Crazy he tried that kick. He's a It's the right knee. Yeah, it's blocked. There's something wrong with it. Crazy he tried that kick. He's a It's the right knee. Yeah, it's blocked. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah, I don't buy Yuri and all of his bullshit. Chad Betts goes, I caught part of that Ariel show today. Do you think Hoke needs to go to light heavyweight to go far? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, granted, Curtis Blades is one of the biggest heavyweights they got on the roster, and he beat him. But it's just he can run up against an undersized heavy or a bigger heavyweight. Like imagine Hoke versus Ngannou. Now, you know, Hoke and Stipe Miocic, I'd like to see their size comparison. But honestly, my gut tells me Hoke can also make a good run at heavyweight. It's just tough because heavyweight's an unlimited weight class. And obviously he doesn't have the frame for it, but he's got the weight for it. That's what they were saying. No, it's a tough question. It's a tough and honest question. I mean, really, that's a question for Hoke. What did Hoke have to say? That would be a great question for Hoke. So Paul goes, McGregor quit the first time he faced adversity. Hoke is better than McGregor. I hear you, homie. I hear you. He got to become a 2-division champ, though. If Hoke starts losing at heavyweight to much bigger dudes, he'll probably move down. Yeah. But at the same time, like, let's not forget, right? Curtis Blades is one of the biggest heavyweights on the roster. He a full-blown heavyweight. And homie did that to him. Who's the current champion? Aspinall. It's like Aspinall's not that much bigger than Curtis Blades, is he? So he might be able to make a run at heavyweight in today's era. Not gonna lie, that motherfucker Hoke brought the fight and made me want to see the next fight. I had never seen any of his fights before. To be honest, AD, me neither, really. I seen him fight live in Bellator one time, and he was the same guy there too. But I never really seen him fight in the UFC yet until last night, and it was good. I love Hoke, but Aspinall leaves us stiff, bro. I've been saying it. It'll be a sad day. Damn. Honestly, Hoke versus Aspinall is the biggest money fight to make. One of the biggest money fights to make, bro. Jacob Hoke sold the next fight with his interview after the fight with Joe Rogan. Jacob, finally a dude who brings it and can hype a fight. Now we're excited about it. But who did he set up the fight with? He just said a poem, AD. He didn't call anyone out. But I know what you're saying. You know, with that performance, homie got his next fight set up already. Oh, no. He did, right? He sold the next fight because he ended up fighting Derek Lewis. There we go. Jacob, what do you think it costed? Did he actually beat a real contender? I think he did, AD. I think he did. Osmot's been knocking everybody out, bro. I think he did. But remember, AD, 205 is cooked, bro. So like a real contender at 205, I mean, yes, he beat a real contender at 205, but again, it's a contender at 205. Is that same ranking, right? Is a number, whatever ranking, whatever Osmot was ranked at 205. Is that like, if you were to compare that to lightweight, right? The number whatever at lightweight. You know, it's not going to be the same, right? Because 205 is cooked. We just had Carlos Olberg in the title fight. And it's no offense, but you guys should get what I'm saying, bro, when I say that. Right? You should get what I'm saying. So, because I don't think Carlos is that good of an MMA fighter. He's a one-dimensional fighter. All right. He's a striker. That's what he is. He's a striker. And for him just to make it to the top without no competition really is like, damn, 205 is kind of cooked. But yeah, with that being said, Osmot's a real contender at 205 per their cook standards. And Paulo, he beat a real contender. Cool, Jacob, for the information at 205. I got you, homie. Who actually beats him? Well, let's do Paulo versus Khalil Roundtree. That's the best money fight of the year. Shout out to Soda Pop for that matchmaking. Yeah, Paulo Costa versus Khalil Roundtree. Costa doesn't fuck with Hamzat. So in order to get to Hamzat, you got to get through Khalil. Because Khalil is Hamzat's, you know, number one training partner right now. All right, boys. I think we're going to get off the stream now, though. It was a good stream. I will catch you guys tomorrow. But man, I'm really hating. If I could just be honest with you guys, MMA is so cooked that the fan base isn't on YouTube right now watching. They're not, bro. In the middle of this 90-day live stream, my numbers have tanked quite a bit, bro, on these live streams. And it's because, you know, all fight week we're just promoting like Olberg and Yuri. And Olberg got 160,000 followers on IG. It's like, I can't wait till we could talk about some big stars, man, because like nobody's tuning in to watch MMA right now. Like no one wants to hear about this Mercy shit. It's like the most hardcore of the hardcore discussions that we're having. I'm telling you guys. With Patty gone, with Aspinall gone, with John Jones gone, it's like the casual fan base, they left. The casual fan base left. We got the hardcores left. You know, like look at my thumbnails. One of them's got D-Rod in it. That's probably fine. But, you know, Josh Hokett's in it. Carlos Olberg in it. Yuri in it. Carlos again. You know, John Jones, the biggest stream we done in the last 7 days. And it's, of course, because it's John Jones. Before that, it's Moicano Duncan and shit. Colby suing Masvidal. Like, these stories are dead, bro. Nate Diaz turning down McGregor. Joe Pyfer in the thumbnail before that. Even Moist Critical in one of my thumbnails. It's like these stories, just nobody's tuning in for it. Ariel was a good one. Ariel confronted by pro-Palestine protesters. That did good numbers. You know, Islam was sleeping did good numbers. UFC Sucks now did good numbers. But again, before that, we're promoting Lerone versus Movsar. So we got to get through this. We're in a dry spell right now. We're in a fucking dry spell, bro. We got to get through this. This Carlos Olberg in my thumbnail ain't helping me. One good girl is worth 1,000 bitches. Shout out to Soda Pop. One good girl is worth 1,000 bitches. Yeah, Jacob, UFC in general has tanked out. No one cares like before. It's happened since this year. It's happened since like February, bro. Or since January. Blades took a beating, man. Respect to him. Now I fuck with Blades heavy. Yeah, man. Pisses me off sometimes because I like to have the good numbers, but shit, we're going to keep doing the streams. You know, the topics will come. Life lesson. It's a good lesson, Soda Pop. It's a good lesson. It's a good lesson, homie. All right, boys. I think I'm finna dip. And I got that interview tomorrow, so yeah. Jacob, got to maintain and stay focused. True, true. But maybe there's an opportunity to investigate new stuff you don't know about yet. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna get some new investigation going on, AD. I got an interview tomorrow. So I'm gonna get some answers. You know, sometimes we gotta create our own news. So that's what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. Wake up, work hard, chase your dreams. Soda Pop, exactly, homie. I live by that every day. Every day. One thing I like to always consider is when you go to bed, you know, did you do everything you probably should have done? Or was there something you've been wanting to do that you didn't do? You know what I mean? So make sure when your head hits that pillow every day, right? You didn't like leave shit out that you should have done. Always remember that. Peace out, W Stream though. Shout out Tyler Betts. Peace out, homie. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in as always. Getting a fighter live on stream like you did with Buck. What about live interviews? Yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe I could get a fighter on. Maybe I could get a fighter on the live stream. It's a good idea, actually. I got one person in mind. I'm going to reach out to them this week and see if he wants to come on. It should be fun if I can get him on. You guys will love it. He got a fight coming up too. All right, boys. Peace out. Thanks for the suggestions, though. I like those suggestions. We'll try them out. All right, boys. Peace out. Thanks for watching once again. Let me shout out the street. Shout out Soda Pop. Shout out Tyler Betts. Shout out AD Kid. Shout out Joe Io. Shout out Me Rocket. Shout out Tony M. Shout out Perfecto. Shout out to Jew. Shout out to Tony Sal. Shout out to Dunn Daughter. Shout out Kevin from Chicago. Shout out to I. Shout out to Top Tier Hustle. Oh, what you think of Pico's W? My bad, Top Tier. That was a good win, homie. That was a good win by Pico. I fuck with it. Pico, it's just like he's always been that good though. I feel like people think Pico hasn't always been that good. He's always been that good. When he wins, that's always how he wins. So I would say I didn't see anything new. When he loses, that's always how he loses too. Out cold. Shout out Bloodhound Lil Jeff. Thanks for watching as always, homie. You were first in the chat today, right? So clap it up for Bloodhound Lil Jeff. Better late than never, homie. As far as my clap up, my acknowledgement for you being first. Mike Co. Shout out Mike Co. Shout out to Cupcake for tuning in. Shout out to Tuxedo Mask for the donos as always, homie. You be keeping the lights on. Shout out to Andrew Nance. Shout out to Zim. Shout out to my boy Zim. Shout out to America First. And that's all. That's all. All right, boys. Peace out. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.